There are people who never truly change. They simply stay quiet long enough for others to mistake that silence for reform, as if the darkness inside them has finally gone still. And at Fairmont Crest, that feeling is growing stronger again around Hayley, a woman whose cold calculations once made people shudder and who now seemed to be slipping back into her most dangerous instincts. Enough time has passed for Bill to lower his guard. Enough time for everyone around her to believe she had learned how to behave more carefully. Even enough time for that staged robbery to be dismissed as an isolated lapse rather than a warning of her true nature. But that silence is exactly what makes her so frightening, because it does not mean Hayley has abandoned her ambition. It only means that she has been waiting for the right moment to strike in a quieter, sharper, and far crueler way. This time, the target is Thomas, and that is no accident. Hayley understands very well that Thomas has never truly trusted her. There is something unsettlingly clear-eyed about him, an instinctive ability to notice the missing pieces in other people's stories, and most dangerous of all, he has started looking too closely at the connection between Hayley and Lynette. When someone like Thomas becomes suspicious, he does not stop at intuition. He digs deeper, connects fragments, and follows even the smallest details until the perfect curtain is torn apart. Hayley knows that, and because she knows it, she does not choose direct confrontation. She knows Thomas is not the kind of man who can be bullied into backing down, nor someone who would be broken by a public clash. If she wants to destroy him, she has to strike at the most sensitive point of all, his standing in Bill's eyes. That is why Hayley's first move is not to attack Thomas directly, but to poison Bill's perception of him. She needs Bill to see Thomas differently. She needs his long-standing loyalty to be covered by a fresh layer of suspicion. She needs every warning Thomas gives to be interrupted as ambition, resentment, or betrayal. That is Hayley's most dangerous weapon, because she does not destroy Thomas with violence, but through the slow erosion of trust. If Bill begins to believe that his young associate is overstepping, investigating matters he has no right to investigate, or worse, interfering in his private life and power, then Thomas will not need to be taken down by a direct blow. He will be isolated by the very place that once protected him. What makes this plan even more terrifying is how perfectly it matches Hayley's nature. She does not act in a burst of rage, but in a state of chilling calm. Her anger is never loud or explosive. It hardens into patient calculation. The closer Thomas gets to the secret between her and Lynette, the more clearly she realizes she is running out of time. If he keeps digging, it will not just be one secret that comes to light. Her entire place beside Bill could collapse. That is why Thomas is no longer merely an irritation. He has become a real threat. And when Hayley sees someone as a threat, she does not simply want to stop them. She wants to break their ability to fight back. As for Thomas, his tragedy lies in the fact that he is right, but may be right too soon and alone for too long. He can feel that something is wrong in the way Hayley operates, in Lynette's sudden presence, in the loose pieces that somehow fit together a little too neatly. But the closer he gets to the truth, the more danger he is in, because he may not have enough time to prove what he senses. If Bill starts doubting him before he can present real evidence, every warning he gives will instantly sound like the excuse of a man trying to save himself. That is the perfect trap, turning the one person who sees the truth into the very first suspect created by that truth. That makes Bill the most important piece on the board, but also the one carrying the deepest internal conflict. He thinks he is controlling the game, yet he is being pulled harder and harder between two opposing forces. On one side is Hayley, who knows exactly how to touch his need to feel trusted and protect his pride. On the other is Thomas, his loyal right hand, who may be trying to save him from a danger he still cannot see. Bill's struggle is not only about who is to believe. It is also about his fear of admitting that he may have been wrong about the woman standing beside him. For a man like Bill, admitting that he has been manipulated would hurt even more than being betrayed. That pride could make him cling to Hayley's version of events far longer than is safe, and in doing so, becoming the very tool she uses to clear Thomas out of the way. If an actual poisoning plot unfolds, its cruelty will not end with making Bill weak. The greatest value of such a scheme would be its ability to create the perfect suspect, and Thomas fits that role all too well. He already has conflict with Hayley. He has already been looking into Lynette. He already carries the look of a man who knows too much. Add a few carefully placed details, a presence at the wrong moment, a piece of evidence appearing exactly the right time, and Thomas could be turned into the man who betrayed Bill and overthrow his own position. At that point, Hayley would not only make Bill turn against him, She could force Thomas into a fight to save his reputation, his career, and perhaps even his freedom. What is even more disturbing is that once Hayley begins, she may have no reason to stop at simply making Thomas lose Bill's trust. Someone like her understands that true safety only comes when a threat has been completely neutralized. That means the greatest danger is not Thomas losing his place beside Bill, but being pushed to a point of no return, where every escape route has been sealed by the very performance Hayley has staged around him. And in that suffocating atmosphere, the most haunting question is no longer whether Hayley will strike, but how far she has already prepared to go. Destroying Thomas may only be the first step. Once the fear of exposure emerges with survival instinct and ambition for control, Hayley could easily cross the final line. And then Thomas will not be fighting to hold on to Bill's trust. He will be fighting to preserve his very existence against a woman who has stopped pretending to be harmless and is returning in her most dangerous form.